Today we'll be exploring Vaisakhi, the most well-known and celebrated festival in the Sikh calendar. We all know the common narrative, but in this episode we'll go beyond that with the help of J.S. Goodawal's Master of the White Hawk and have our questions answered by Dr. Kamleep Singh. Together we'll explore the fascinating evolution of the term Khalsa. So join us today as we take a journey down the rabbit hole of written sources regarding Vaisakhi. Be sure to check out the other extracts or listen to the full podcast episode to find out more. Alright, just moving on then to the use of the term Khalsa. Now, in Ganda Singh's collection of Hukamnamas, and I've picked out, I think, 4 here. And it's just basically about the use of the term Khalsa and how it's being used. So, for argument's sake, there's a Hukamnama dated to the 12th of March, 1699. It's addressed to the Sangat of Machiwara, and it states, "The Sangat is my Khalsa, have no faith in the Masands." Yeah, so again, related to what we were discussing earlier. Another dated 1st of February 1700, the Sangat of Patan Farid is told, "You are my Khalsa." Again, you are not to have faith in any Masand. Another Hukamnama of Guru Gobind Singh Ji to Pai Kalyan Rai and the Sangat of Machiwara in 1698 is also again states, "The Sangat is my Khalsa." There's 2 more, one from the 25th of April 1699. Maharaj is saying here, Khalsa is distinguished from the Sangat Salang. So it's a term found in the Hukamnama of Guru Gobind Singh Ji again from 1699. Salang referring to a person who's initiated into Sikhi by a Masand on behalf of the Guru. So again, what we were discussing earlier on. And then there's a couple in 1706 and 1707, again referring to the Sangat as Khalsa. So further Hukamnamas 1706 and 1707, again to the Sangat of Dol and Kara, refer again to the Sangat as my Khalsa. Again, I think it's pretty clear, it's to distinguish from the Masands and their whole role within the community, because obviously it's referring to them having initiated Sikhs on behalf of the Guru. Now, is the term just being used as a way of differentiating, and does its significance then grow once 1699 happens?
From my knowledge, the term Khalsa was also used by Guru Tegh Bahadur in one Hukamnama, and I could be wrong.
You sound correct. I think I've heard something similar, yeah.
And then the term Khalsa occurs in a Shabad of Bhagat Kabir Ji. And some people say that in the Art Damdama Sabir, the Damdami Sarup, that the word Khulasa was changed by Guru Gobind Singh to Khalsa in that Shabad. And so Khulasa is the whirling of the Darvish, yeah? And it means somebody who is in that cosmic spin, which is endless.
Yeah.
So they're broken free, nirvana, basically, yeah? That divine emptiness, they're in the cosmic ocean, yeah? They've become into complete emptiness. They've gone into void, shunya, nirvana. And that's like this cosmic spin. It's indescribable, but the Sufis do it through whirling, people do it through chanting. You know, people have their own ways of expressing it.
Yeah.
So that Khulasa, to be free, there's not much in it between that and Khalsa. And so the Khalsa, again, somebody who's Chakravarti, who roams the 4 directions, is Khulasa, is somebody swirling, moving around. The original Raitanama also says a Sikh should do Chakravarti to the 4 Taks, yeah? Now, you know, the SGPC made the 5th because they're political and they wanted all the votes, so 3 would be theirs and leave 2 outside of Punjab, yeah? But, you know, that's just their mindset. But really, the Guru made 4 Taks and the 5th one was the Khalsa. And the Khalsa would circumambulate between those 4 points, again, moving around, yeah? This idea of being free. So the Khalsa, again, means a sovereign, somebody who's free.
Yeah.
So it's a spiritual principle which translates into a physical reality for that group of people. And that's how Guru was using that term. So saying somebody who's not in this spiritual hierarchy. So for me, like, you know, Gyanis or Sants, I'm really not interested. Like, you know, Maharaj says, Sant Samu Anek Matike, that comes in Saviya. Like, I'm saying, yeah, I respect Sants, and I respect the truth they have, I respect their bhakti, I respect the naam they do for humanity, I respect their upakar for humanity, their compassion. But do I go and worship them or follow them? No. I can go and maybe get wisdom and advice from them, but now it's become a cultish nature in Sikhs, yeah? To follow this Sant and that Sant and this. And Tikya, Naam Jap and that is okay. But it's not a Khalsa.
No.
A Khalsa is somebody who's Kshatriya, somebody who's a warrior, somebody who's armed. And that's how Guru Gobind Singh left the Khalsa, Panth. And so they're halfway there, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing is, even halfway, koshta hega. And I'm not saying I'm 100% there. The only 100% is the guru. And so the thing is, this whole idea of the Masant system is almost like the modern Sant system or SGPC or Gyani system, yeah? It's not much different. And their Khalsa is one who is outside religious hierarchy. The Khalsa is one who says, God is inside me, Jagat Jot, Japan Nisabasar. He is a Khalsa who sees the light of God within their own heart. Antarjami is in your del, and you see that light of Paramatma, and then you don't give two what people say or what society says. You become free of it. You become a whirling dervish. You become intoxicated in the divine. And the religious massive, they hate life. Life is difficult. They're trying to get out of Rasilak June. They're trying to find God. God in your heart. That's a Khalsa. One who realizes it within the heart and starts to actually live life and seeing gratefulness of life and saying thank you. You know, Dera kita jato nahi menu jo katoi. It's somebody who realized that state of gratefulness, saying, Waheguru, thank you for my existence. Thank you for this opportunity of life. And you know what? Because I see you within me, and I can say, Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh, I'm fearless, and let's go for it. Let's make the world best we can make it. That's a Khalsa, and that's what Maharaj is referring to in that.
Okay.
Hukum. By my understanding.
Yeah, no, that makes more sense. Yeah. Which makes sense because the Masans are essentially a hierarchical priest system as we've been discussing. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
like you're sitting there asking the priest to pray on your behalf.
Yeah.
I like
It's like Catholic indulgences and like they'll...
like an intermediary. Yeah. We don't need intermediaries between us and God. Even look, Britain Bhagoti Simarke, first comes the Bhagoti, yeah? Fear Guru Nanak is in the Ardas, right? And even that's been adulterated. That doesn't mean that. Britain Bhagoti Simarke, Britain first Bhagoti Simarke, first meditate on the Bhagoti. And then the modern day SGPC Singh Sabha is Fear Anga, then it says, Britain Bhagoti Simarke Guru Nanak le, then remember Guru Nanak. The Guru doesn't need to be remembered. What that means is Guru Nanak also meditated on that Bhagoti. Fear Anga, then Guru Angad Dev Ji did. Then Ram Das se hoye sahai, even Guru Ram Das, Siri Bhagoti ji sahai, he saw the sanctuary of the Siri Bhagoti of Waheguru Shakti. Is bowing down, each Guru is bowing down to the Bhagoti there in that Chandi Divar. Look how they've changed it because they're Masand. Because they want it to be hierarchical.
And they've done the same with like Tope Sahib, not to read
That's
off
it.
like
That's
40,
Maharaj's,
24.
how Maharaj begins with Garbani in Dasana Sri Bhagoti Ji Sahai. I have the protection of the sword, of the Ard Shakti. Right? And so the thing is, you look at, when you have that feeling that you're protected, you don't need any intermediary. So Khalsa is the one outside of superstition. We don't need holy men. We are holy men.
Yeah.
Yeah? You know?
That's the whole point of being sovereign.
Yeah, Santalal Singh, he wrote a book about the Buddha Dal. And he was a sant, and he was the son of a Nahang Singh. And his book is one of the first ones about the Nahang Ityas. It's called Guru Ki Laadliyan Fauja. It might be online somewhere.
I'll try.
And it's in Gurumukhi, and he writes in there, the Khalsa is a Pant of Brahm Gyani, and the Nahang Singh is the original Khalsa. Yeah. And the Khalsa, every single Nahang in the Buddha Dal is a Brahm Gyani to a lesser, bigger or smaller extent. And he goes, that is the Khalsa, one who has not just only physical sovereignty, like Maharaja Ranjit Singh, but spiritual sovereignty. We don't need any intermediary other than the Shabad. Yeah. If you go to a Sant, what's the Sant going to tell you to do? Seva karo, Simran karo. Yeah? You know, this is like Baba Jiginder Singh of Rakaba. When I went to Babaji, I've got so much respect for him, I said to him, Babaji, Naam Baksho. He goes, no one can baksh Naam on you. You have to go and sit there and do your mala. And then I realized, wow, you know, this is the difference between him and Sant.
We're talking about Babaji. The other day I did a podcast with Jasmeet Singh about the role of Baba Santa Singh Ji within kind of the politics of 1984. And he was talking about Babaji's nickname starting at 12 and ending at 7 in the morning. And I think things like that puts it into perspective because everyone likes to talk. Like even with this podcast, like it looks like I'm doing a hell of a lot. I am doing jack. These people are putting in 7 hours of nickname. Like that's the real Kamai and the real work.
Exactly. That's the real bhakti.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, you have to go and do your bhakti. You know, and in a Guru Gobind Singh, in the Khalsa, not only is a Khalsa warrior, he's a Kshatri or she's a Kshatri. He sits there, she sits there, does bandagi on the Kalpur. And that's why the Guru is not an intermediary in the Ardas. You're not bowing to Guru Nanak. You know, it doesn't say first meditate on the sword, then Guru Nanak and Gurus. Because then the Guru is not acting as an intermediary. The Guru is acting as a transmitter of the word, of Naam, of Shabad, and asking you to meditate on the Shabad.